Alhamdulillah, most of the Ramzan is gone. We have just about 4 days left. Time flies. It's just like we just started the Ramadan yesterday and now it's gone. Alhamdulillah. Today, I wanted to share with you one of the most important and one of the shortest surah of Quran, which is Surah Al-Asr, and which has to deal with time. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر صدق الله العظيم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, I swear by the passage of time. I swear by the passage of time. Indeed, mankind is in loss, except for those who have believed and done righteous deeds, and reminded each other to remain steadfast on the true deen and remain patient through the hardships of life. About this surah, Imam Shafi'i rahmatullah alayhi has mentioned that if somebody focused, understood, learned, and practiced what this surah is about, he will not need anything else. Subhanallah, subhanallah bihamdihi. 3 verses, 3 very short verses, and yes, such wisdom, such guidance, and such deep understanding of human life. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala swears by the passage of time that the entire humankind is in a state of loss, except for those people who have good faith, who have iman, who understand their iman, and who do pious deeds, who perform pious deeds, and also who remind each other of staying steadfast on the true deen and remaining patient through the hardships of life. There are 4 things that were mentioned in the Quran, in the surah. 2 is for ourselves, which is making sure that we stay steadfast to our iman and our faith, we understand it well. And number 2, that we live it. We live what we believe and not ignore our behavior and not be conscious of what we believe and how we behave. The rest of the 2 is for us, our responsibility towards the ummah. Starting from our own family members, our children, our relatives, our friends, and also reminding them of staying steadfast on what is true, which is Amr bil Ma'ruf, and remaining patient through the hardships of life when you have to make sabr in those things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts upon us as trials and tribulation, and for those things which our bad desires want to do, and we make sabr and we choose not to do it, which is nahi anil munkar. Now the question is, what do these 4 things have to do with the passage of time? And this is the key to understand. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala swears by something in the Quran, then what follows is something very, very important. that cannot be argued against. So he swears by the passage of time. My dear brothers and sisters, if you were here last Friday when I spoke, I mentioned that our existence goes through 3 different time zones. Were some of you there last Friday? You were there last Friday? And I said that our life began with Adam alayhi salatu wasalam, when our souls were taken from his back. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala presented himself to the souls of all human beings and had them witness whether he was their creator and Lord or not. And all the souls witnessed. And then all these souls were put in a reservoir with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to be sent to the earth at the appropriate time. The second phase of our life began when each one of our soul was brought down to the earth for a certain amount of time. That's the second phase of our life. Then the third phase of our life is when we die. When we die, the body stays here because the body was from here. And the soul is put back into another reservoir, which is called barzakh. All the souls of human beings, after they are dead here, the soul lives on and is placed in a reservoir called barzakh. The barzakh is a place where the souls stay before they are resurrected into their bodies and present to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Make sense? Now then, every soul that has been taken from the first reservoir and put to this earth has given a capital to invest. Please understand very clearly what I'm trying to explain. Every soul has been given a capital, an amount of fund, an amount of asset to invest in their lives when they're alive. Every child is born with this capital. And that capital that we were to invest to make a profit or loss or waste it is time. Every morning we wake up, we have this time to invest for the rest of the day. This investment, this capital that Allah had given, is non-renewable. Once you invest it, it's gone. You cannot have it back. See, when we invest money in this dunya, we start with the capital. Those in business who know very, very clearly that they have accumulated some capital and they want to start a business, and they wisely choose. This is their lifetime saving that they're going to put in the investing for profit. Where to invest? Which will be a profitable business? And they start investing. And they also have a chance that sometimes they would lose and sometimes they'll make profits. But if they lose sometimes, that they can maybe make a profit later and recover their capital. Are you with me? Not with time. Time is an investment. We have been given a certain number of breaths to take. Every second we are taking a breath. This breath that I'm taking right now will never come back again. One breath less of my life, gone. Now, if you seriously reflect, you can understand how valuable this capital is. How valuable these breaths that we have been given are. Once we lose it, it's gone for good. When a child is born, he's also given this capital. So many breaths he would have or she would have to live in this life. But this child is not capable of deciding how to make best of this capital that Allah has given us. So therefore, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made the parents to be the trustees. The parents were made trustees of their children's capital. Because they know that the time this child has been given is also non-renewable. He cannot start investing his time, decide how best to invest it when he's a child, because he's just a child. Therefore, it is the parents' responsibility to make sure that they are using the child's capital, the child's asset that he has, wisely for the sake of the child's. Please understand the significance of what I'm saying, what I just said. Each one of us have children. We have raised them. Some of them we are still raising. How did we raise these children when we were trustees of their capital, when we were trustees of the time that was given to them, and they were not able to make proper decisions and choices about how to best invest this time? We, the parents, were made responsible until they became wise enough, old enough to make their own decisions. How did we invest our children's capital while they were growing? Allahu Akbar Kabira. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive us all. We are all parents. And those of you who are not married yet will be parents. And it will be our responsibility to make sure that when we have children, this brother sitting with a little child, lots of people coming with their little children, we are accountable to make sure that in their childhood, that their time we did not waste, because it's in our control. Their time and what they would do with their time is in our control. We can either get them addicted to iPads, devices, TVs, video shows, games, and waste that investment they have. Is this what's happening right now? May Allah forgive us, wallahi. We will be held accountable for that. This time that you are teaching, you're giving the child all these devices to play with, keeping them busy with the games, video games, TVs, shows, etc., etc. You are wasting their investment. You are wasting their capital that would never come back to them. See how significant this surah is and what it is teaching us. So it's not just me now, today, on the 25th day of Ramadan, to decide how am I going to use the rest of my investment. It is since I was born. How my parents used properly or wasted my investment money, my capital of time that Allah had given me, how did they use it for me or wasted it for me? I'm going to share my life with you. Very briefly. I don't want to take lots of time, but I want to make a point. When I was born, may Allah bless my mother's soul. May Allah grant her the highest bliss in Jannah. When I was pregnant, when she was pregnant with me, and this is what she tells me, how would I know? She saw in the newspaper a picture of the child who had recited the Nazira Quran at the age of 4.5. 4 years and a half. He had completed the recitation of the Quran, learned to recite the Quran. So my mom at that time, she said that I made the dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that my son will also finish recitation of his Quran and learn to recite the Quran at the age 4.5. And while I was in her womb still, Allah accepted that dua. And I finished the recitation of Quran at age 4.5. My mom used to tell me, I want you to be a doctor. I don't want you to waste your time. I was not allowed. May Allah bless my mom. I was not happy with her at times. I was not allowed to go out and just play with the kids. In those days, there were no videos and audios and phones and games and iPads. There was none of those, not even TV. We played in the streets with friends. That I was not allowed to go down and play a lot. I was allowed a given amount of time in the evening between the two salah to go pray. And my mom would stand in the balcony. So I know that she's standing up there looking at me. And while I was playing with my friends, she would remind me to keep reciting my lesson. Why am I mentioning this? This is how my mother protected my investment. This is how she protected my investment. What you see today is wallahi all because of my mom. All because of my mom. Who you see today here and what you see him doing is all because of my mom. Because she invested that time, my time at that time, in such a way that made me cognizant, that made me mindful of my time. I'm so obsessed with time. Every single room, including my bathroom, has a timepiece. Every single room. Some have 2, 3 of them. I'm so time conscious. That's all we have. And when I look at today's young people and old, and how much time is being wasted, it makes me sad. This is what all this surah is all about. Be mindful of the time you have. You still have time. There are 4 days of Ramadan left, inshallah. Laylatul Qadr may still be coming. Be mindful of your time. Know that every day you get up in the morning, you know that I have now, since I got up, 12 hours before I go to sleep again, or 14 hours. Once these 14 hours are gone, they will never come back. I cannot afford to say, oh well, I'm going to do it tomorrow. I'm going to do it tomorrow. That time was wasted today, which will never come. And tomorrow, you may not have. Tomorrow you may not have. What you need to do today, do it today. What needs to be done today, don't ever put it off for tomorrow. This is what self-discipline is all about. So now, given this time, what did Allah say? Invest this time, number one, in fulfilling your rights to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, your worships. Make sure that your iman stays strong. Make sure that you understand your faith well. Imam Ibn Taymiyyah rahmatullah alayhi said that the thing that keeps people from not living by their beliefs, not living by the iman that they claim to have, are two things. Shubahat. You understand the word shubahat? Doubts. When people have shubahat or doubts about what they believe in, if they have doubts about Allah's commands, if they have doubts about the sunnahs of Rasulullah, then shaitan uses it and says, oh, well, is it really to be done? Well, there are too many interpretations of this. Well, it doesn't make sense. This is one thing that keeps people not living by their faith. Today we see it all the time. May Allah forgive us all. We see it all the time, these shubhat, these doubts, these uncertainties that are being created globally for us. And we become easily susceptible to it because we never learned our deen properly. We never understood the wisdoms contained in our deen. And the second thing, he said, Imam Ibn Taymiyyah, the second thing that keeps us from living by what we believe are our desires. Nafs. Those are two things that keep us from using this time the best we can. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in this Quran, in this surah, you just living yourself according to the faith and performing pious good deeds is not enough. You have two more responsibilities, each one of you, with that time, the investment in that time. You should not be selfish. It should not be limited just to yourself. It should be invested in your family. It should be invested properly with your children, with your spouses, with your friends, with your neighbors, and for the ummah. How? Get them to do what you are doing now. Stay steadfast on your faith. Understand your faith. Understand your obligations. Understand your requirements. Brother, Salah is important. My dear son, I know you like to do this. Prayer is very important. It cannot be postponed. This is Amr bil Ma'ruf. We are required to do this. And when we see people becoming careless, heedless of their obligations, their responsibilities, and doing things which they should not be doing, it is obligated upon us to stop them. Says, no, brother, this is not right. This is haram. This is not permissible. It's just going to harm you. It's just going to benefit you. We are required to do this. Otherwise, regardless of how many salat we prayed, and how many fasts that we fasted, how many days we fasted, will not be sufficient in the day of judgment. You know the famous hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the meaning of which is, if you see somebody doing something wrong, and if you have the ability to stop it, you stop it. If you are not able to stop it, then you use your tongue to say this is wrong. Brother, this is haram, this is not jais. Haram, please don't do this. And if Allah has not given you even that strength, then in your heart say, Ya Allah, this is wrong and I don't know how to stop them. Please forgive me. And this is the weakest of the part of the iman. Weakest state of the iman. In the masjid, being practical. You know, I've said it many times, and I feel shame actually to keep saying this, but it is true. Many of us who come to the masjid to pray 5 times a day and bring our children along, we don't know the adab of the masjid, am I right? We don't know the etiquettes of the masjid. We don't know what is permissible and what is not permissible in the masjid. We don't know how to treat this house of Allah respectfully. Am I right? People would sit, and it is not just kids who are running around. Kids are ma'asum. They're innocent. They're innocent. What do they know? What do they know what's right, what's wrong? But those who are the parents, who are the adults, and senior citizens, who have lived 60, 70 years of life, don't respect the etiquettes of the masjid, the adab of the masjid. I sit back there because I can't stand anymore and pray because it's getting difficult to get up from the sujood. And all the people sitting around me are senior citizens. What do I see them doing? Phone. Playing with their phone. Looking at the pictures. Looking at the messages. Looking at this, looking at that. Or talking. People next to them, 2 of them, sitting reciting Quran. They have no sense that I may be distracting them. That they may be distracted by my talking aloud or laughing or my phone calls. There's no sense of it at all. I look at them and I say, brother, this brother's talking. Oh, I'm a bad student, am I? No, it's not bad. It's the adab of the masjid. And 2 minutes of silence and they go again. Wallahi, what is wrong with us? Can't we stay quiet and recite some dhikrullah when we're in the masjid? How long are we in here at the most? 15 minutes, 20 minutes to pray. Can't we just hold this tongue or not touch our phone? Each one of you, what I'm saying based on this surah of Quran, each one of you is responsible and will be held responsible. If you see a brother sitting next to you, talking, playing with his phone, you have to very quietly remind him. Obviously, we can't by force stop them. Obviously, we should not put them down and make them feel bad about this. We should use hikmah, wisdom, and say, brothers, this is not jais. You're wasting your time. You're in the masjid for a purpose, for a reason, but you're not getting your objective from this. Why waste time? Very quietly in his ear. It is each one of your responsibility. It's not just the imam's responsibility, which stands up and says, please put your phones away. Please shut your phone down. And even then, nobody cares. Am I right? If we each one of us take that responsibility on our own, says, look, if a phone is ringing, the brothers next to us says, please turn it off. It's distracting. Because if this phone ringing distracts so many people, and their salah, their khushu and khudu is gone from the salah, you will be held responsible for it. Am I exaggerating or is it true? Wallahi lazim, if each one of us took that responsibility, then this masjid will have musallin with the best of the adab of the masjid and the respect of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And these were the wisdoms contained in this short surah of the Quran. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give me and give you the tawfiq and the courage and the strength to understand it, to take it to our heart, and to practice it, and to ask. From now on, it is 5:45. There's about 2 hours before the fast ends. How am I going to use these 2 hours? Am I going to say, oh, 2 more hours? Geez, what do I do? Let's just go shop something. Let's just take out my phone and look at some shows or some clips or something. Do it, but know you are wasting the time that will never come back. Those breaths that you took doing this are lost forever. This is a loss of life. If you understand this, consider yourself, your life, and the investment that you have given as a block of ice. This block of ice, you can use it meaningfully, beneficially. Even if you don't, it's melting. If you use this time as Allah has suggested and guided us, your rewards will be here and you will fulfill responsibilities for hereafter as well. If you did not follow through this, then not only you would lose out in this life, but you will be held accountable for wasting that investment that was given to you in the Day of Judgment. And if you did not do anything with it, then you are the greatest of the losers. May Allah give us the tawfiq to understand this. Please forgive me if I said something that I didn't mean to do that. Any questions? So this was my last talk in Ramadan. Inshallah, I would continue these after Asr or after Maghrib, depending on the season, after Eid, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.